Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Welcome to the July YouTube hop for a cherry on top, where the theme is monochromatic. So I am showing you here how to create a monochromatic scrapbook layout. So monochromatic color schemes use variations in lightness and darkness, and saturation too, of one color for most of the elements. So choosing your elements is pretty easy because, so for example, here I have chosen pink, and so I have different saturations and hues of pink and pink variations that enhance the pink flowers in these photos. So it's pretty easy to choose products because you know they'll go together because you're doing color hue coordination. It's much harder to do if you're working with a kit because kits are typically multicolor, correct? Right? But what's great about some of the 49 and Market collections is that they are monochromatic, right? You have the pinks, you have the yellow collections, you have the eucalyptus collection. So a lot of what I'm actually using here, or will end up using, is actually from 49 and Market. That top piece of pattern paper up there is actually from Pink Fresh Studio, and you can see all of the sort of pink hues that I'm going to end up using in this layout up in that top piece up there. I really love the way that these pinks enhance the pink flowers that have the blue with them, so the reflection in the water, as well as the I believe that's a daylily. It could, yeah, daylily in the top right hand side picture. So I have a vertical strip across, and then I have a darker pink that matches the pink of that flower. It's a water lily at the bottom there, and then I've bannered it. I don't want it to go all the way across because if you know me, I like white space, and so that's one of the other thing about monochromatics is typically you will use neutrals to combine and just add just a little bit of pop to the page. So here I am going through some early 49th and Market release. Those are the pinks, yellows, and oranges, and I'm pulling out sort of the more pinky, peachy colored elements. And so I'm just figuring out how I'm going to put them and arrange them on the page. I have this stencil from Spellbinders that I know I want to use just for, again, to work on that melding of the different colors. It's one of the things to take into consideration when you are doing a monochromatic layout is it's nice to have a piece that has multiple colors. So I have here worn lipstick, saltwater taffy, picked raspberry, and abandoned coral. I'm pretty sure are the four colors that I am working with. And I'm just using my brush to pick up the color and then work through the stencil. And don't forget, after you have stenciled, to obviously I actually just use baby wipes to wipe down the stencils when I'm inking, and it comes off super easy. But I just love the way that this pulls the top color and gives another layer. Those of you who know my work know that I like to layer. I don't go crazy with layering, but I do like simple layers, and so that just creates a layer of monochromatic color. So the thing about Pink Fresh Studio and 49th and Market is they're pretty vintagey, whimsy, sort of more, not grunge, but they're more earthy. And so I actually have those two tags there are from Pebbles, which are so far the opposite direction, as is that orchid that I put up there. So that I like it up there, but it actually is going to go because it doesn't work with the other embellishments that I'm going to end up using from 49th and Market. So you have that sort of more graphic thing followed by the more earthy, vintage isn't the right word, earthy type things, and so that just ends up having to go. So these are some laser cuts, and I'm going to pull out a couple of butterflies and a leaf. And the thing about these laser cuts is it's kind of like die cuts, like the LE Studio die cuts, right? When you punch them out, they have the little white, I call it a white snot, so it's that little piece where it's adhered, and they drive me nuts because they interrupt the color. So I have to trim them off, and so that's what I'm doing with my scissors. It's just a teeny tiny little piece, but it's enough that it just annoys me. I am going to leave those flowers on. They're kind of more purple. They're sort of a purpley pink, a mauve-y kind of color, but I like the way that they work with the purple cone flowers in the top left there. And again, it just adds another hue to the pink colors that I'm working with. So these are some border edge rub-ons, again from 49th and Market, and I just really like the way that it breaks up the lines and adds that movement to the page, and again creating layers. So I'm going to cut off a few of those and add that in 3 places. That bottom left, and then I'm going to kind of do that top center, and then I'm going to do that bottom center as well. In retrospect, I might have done the bottom one a little bit more to the right to create that visual triangle, because I don't really have visual triangle of embellishments, but you don't really need it. And so yeah, that's the one that I wish I had moved in retrospect a little bit closer, but it's good. I toyed with the idea of distressing the edges of each of those pieces as well, but there's so much going on here that I didn't really want, there's enough texture, I didn't want to add yet another layer of texture. So because I am not one for mixed media, but I can do built-in mixed media, I'm using these rub-ons again. They're not just paint splatters, because there's stamped. They're not stamped, but they're words, so you can't really read them. And so again, layering some texture there just for visual interest to the page. I think when all of the colors are similar, you need those little bits that are visually interesting to grab your attention. So just a little too much stark white on the outside of this butterfly, so I'm just going to fussy cut that off. I do this a lot with embellishments. So again, just to soften the white, because I already have this big white space and don't want too much more of that. So I'm going to put that up at the top left there. And with butterflies, I only ever adhere the body down using liquid adhesive, and so I can fold up the edges per se. Yes, they're going to flatten within the pages, but when I'm taking pictures and creating them, yes, there is dimension, and they can't always be fluffed back up. You know how, like, you fluff a pillow, you can fluff your butterflies too, or your dimensional elements, if you were to put them in a frame and are so inclined. So I wanted a little bit of twine, baker's twine, to connect these 2 tags and kind of go across the page. They just sort of add to the fun of the butterflies as well. They add that movement to the page. And so I'm going to just sort of loop over some of the baker's twine and adhere that down so that the loops stay stuck as they are. I really like that look. So this is a hop. This is every month a Cherry on Top does a hop, and we have a theme, and the ladies and I are scrapping different monochromatic projects. So be sure to check out what the other ladies have to share. I will leave the links to all of their videos in the YouTube box down below, in the description box down below. And also there is a prize to be won, so be sure to leave a comment. Have you created a monochromatic layout, and do you like them? Do you find them easy or difficult? I actually, I like doing them once in a while, because they do make me look at my stash and see what I have in my stash again, sort of that stash refresh. But generally they are not my favorite to create, because I'd rather just pull a kit or pull things that are around me that I don't know. They're not my favorite. I won't lie. They're just, yeah. I like the look of this, but it ends up going with a little bit more whimsy than what and vintagey, that's not the word that I want to stress, than my clean lines. And so, yeah, no, they're not my favorite. So as I've been rambling, just adhering down some other things, I will go in off camera and I will use some rub-ons. I have that just one leaf at the top right there, and that really bothered me. So I found some rub-ons that then went with the rest of that went with that and sort of made it stand out less on its own. I am also going to go in with a couple of letters and finish the title so that it says favorite views. You'll see me point to that, and then I will journal in the tag. I'm also going to use some bling. I felt like it needed a little bit more of that neutral that I was referring to earlier. Here I've got some of the black word rub-ons, and that's me also trying to get a little bit more neutral. I can't do all of that pink. Pink, many of you know, is not one of my favorite colors. So it was kind of surprising that I chose to work with the pink, but I thought that's what enhanced these photos a whole lot more, especially those with the blue background there. So again, be sure to head over to the other ladies' channels and check out what they are creating using monochrome, and leave a comment down below. Thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. Come back again soon. Take care.